Hey y'all, Connor here. Yup, it's the same old me as always. Nothing new or different here. I'm the same product with no weirdness or alterations. Bootlegs. Oh god, I feel dirty just saying the word. Like Sonic and the Black Knight. Ah! Bootlegs have unfortunately become synonymous with gaming as a whole nowadays. I mean, what even good is a product if it doesn't come with a shitty knockoff? What? Bootleg video games show two things about society. One, people are willing to take a pre-existing concept of a game and remake it in their own vision. Whether or not they have the tools or abilities won't stop them. And two, there is no God. So today we're gonna check out some bootlegs that can be considered offensive. Not to me though, I never get offended. I mean, for God's sakes, I played Sonic Forces all the way through and only puked twice. I obviously have nerves of steel. First game on our list is, well, I can't say that. Gosh, you're not a virgin one time, and all of a sudden these games are just getting thrown at you. Naughty Tetris was made in 1997 for the Super Famicom and PC, created by the Twin Eagles Group, a company who I'm sure is doing really well for themselves now. Oh, fuck. Now you may be asking yourself, is this really just Tetris? Yeah, pretty much. The only difference is that it's shoved all the way to the right side of the screen, so your focus won't actually be on the game, but instead on these girls? I play Tetris for 3 reasons: gameplay, puzzle solving, and bringing back the 2 for $5 deal at Jack in the Box. Nowhere in that list will you find anything that resembles me wanting to see clothed women from the 80s. Save that trash for columns where it fucking belongs. Yeah, for a game that's titled this, it's actually not as raunchy as you might expect. Granted, I'm just here for Tetris. It's a game that actually requires your attention. So 10 times out of 10 while I'm playing this game, this is my experience. Oh shit, there's a girl. Speaking of oh shit. Literally, what is this box? Angry Winnie the Pooh trying to eat a rock? Shit, also known as oh shit, is an MSX game developed and published by Akasoft in 1985. The game is a clone of Pac-Man, even using graphics directly taken from Namco's MSX port of the game, and features digitized voices and other minimal tweaks from the original. It has since gained infamy for its use of profanity in both the digitized speech and the title itself. So, what I'm saying is that this game is the result of someone who played Pac-Man and said, yeah, this game is great and all, but where's the profanity? I ask myself that every day.
This is Joey, Paul, Willie, and Frankie.
Well, I now know my top 4 least favorite names of all time. Hong Kong 97. Now buckle in because this is quite the mess. Looking at the box art alone is enough to lose faith in humanity, if my view of it wasn't already shattered because we let this happen. Hong Kong 97 is an unpublished video game for the Super Famicom. Developed by Happysoft in 1995, the game has gained such a cult status and was labeled as a kusoge, which literally translates to shitty game in Japanese. And some have labeled it as the worst game ever made. Now, is this game really the worst game ever? It might be. This game is just all over the place. Games wanted. We will sell your original SNES games 1/3 gross of profit will be yours. What? You smell that? It sure does reek. Reeks of desperation. So what's the story here? Crime rate in China is through the roof, so they hire Jackie Chan, as you do, to lower the crime rate. Yeah, I've heard of worse plans. The gameplay itself isn't anything special, apart from the fact that it's sponsored by Coca-Cola. It's a fixed shooter in the same vein as Space Invaders. You're shooting Mega Man pellets at what I assume to be soldiers and random people. It's just, not good. The game was designed by Japanese journalist Kowloon Kurosawa. Kowloon says the game was made in about a week and was supposed to mock Nintendo's strict quality standards for licensing a game. Nintendo, of course, looked at this and said, no, the game was never actually published in stores, with Kurosawa sending copies himself via mail. Yep, there's that desperation again. The game over screen also shows what looks like to be a dead body. Well, that definitely sours the tone of this video. Quick, Tails, say something stupid!
All's well that ends well, right?
Ah, much better. This game is terrible. The final boss rips off Star Fox 64's final boss. That has to be up there with the most unforgivable crimes imaginable. Hey, have you ever played Street Fighter and said to yourself, why are these characters wearing clothes? It's a question that still haunts me to this day. Strip Fighter 2 is an adult 2D fighting game. The game was published by Games Express and was released in Japan and Taiwan in March 26, 1994 for the PC. Oh man, I've always wanted to play as my favorite Castlevania boss. I think you may be starting to sense a pattern here with these games. On the surface, they're just basic games, nothing really special about them. It isn't until at random points in the game you're like, oh boobies. Oh wow, yup, definitely gonna have to censor that. And oh come on, even Breath of the Wild doesn't show this much nudity, and that game has every right to. Swear words, nudity, all of these things can be considered offensive, but what is the most offensive thing ever? Minions. Yep, in the year 2015, the Russians found it necessary to create a bootleg Minions game on the Sega Mega Drive. I mean, why? Was there a demand for it? Despicable Me 2 is a game for the Sega Mega Drive based on the 2013 animated sequel to Despicable Me. Don't ask me why they chose the sequel to make the game. I have too many questions already, and that one is probably 15th on the list. It was made by an unknown company in Russia, presumably BMB. The game is a title screen, level, and graphic hack of Bubble and Squeak for the Mega Drive, which was published by Sunsoft, making this game somewhat playable. You know, kind of. It's just a reskin of an actual game that didn't have minions. So a better time when all was right in the world. You're just side-scrolling and platforming your way through this factory. I could think of much better ways of torturing myself. I mean, look at them. Why are they so happy? If I have to suffer, so do they. This next level is actually alright. Mainly because there's no minions on screen. I like that. More of this, please. Thrill Kill on the PlayStation 1. Yup, this is definitely a game your mom wouldn't want you to play. Thrill Kill is an unreleased 4-player fighting game for the Sony PlayStation. While the technical feat of allowing 4 players to fight simultaneously in the same room was to be a major selling point, making this, I guess, Sony's attempt at a Smash Brothers, this was overshadowed by the major controversy surrounding the game's depiction of violence and dirty content. Examples of this content include BDSM, costumes that would send you to the principal's office, and limb dismemberment, accompanied with violent special moves with suggestive names such as Bitch Slap, Swallow This, and Going Down. Thrill Kill notably received the rare and elusive AO rating from the ESRB, and was the first game to receive such a rating for its violent content. All prior AO ratings have been for sexual content. With all of this going on, Thrill Kill was ultimately not released. Near-finished builds of the game, however, were later bootlegged and uploaded to the internet, where we can now play it today. And oh boy, I sure wish we hadn't. I mean, to be fair, the game is alright. Compared to games nowadays with their shooty bloody booby nature, these polygons smacking each other around with pixelated blood really isn't anything to write home about. It's clearly trying super hard to be edgy with character names like the Tormentor. But again, I feel nothing. It's violent, sure, but so is Pikmin 3. The amount of genocide that goes on in that game, it blows my mind it was given the rated E for everyone. And those were some offensive bootlegs. All in all, I wouldn't recommend them. The world has enough degenerates as it is. I mean, for God's sakes, people actually enjoy Chicken Shoot on Wii. But to end this video, I'm gonna do the most offensive thing possible. Compliment SingStar on PS2. I know, please forgive me. Well, oh shit, Jesse McCartney's on this thing. Well, obviously Game of the Year right here!